Alright, welcome back to another Hood Nature. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back like always. Today we got How Do Wild Animals Have Fun? Let's not waste any more time, just get right into this one. Make sure it's on 1080 too.
Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party. You and all your friends say they love to get naughty.
Was he just riding on a...
Good morning.
Yeah. Sorry, man, you okay? No, I was trying to film. Everybody has a different playing style.
Fun. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere at any time at all. And I appreciate how that song spells out fire and not fun, and we all just collectively accepted that. But fun isn't just a human construct that man, or a talking sponge, invented. Nah, plenty of animals have ways of having a good time. Take wolves for example. Wolves are social animals, so it makes sense that they'd use play to strengthen bonds in the pack. Wolves in the wild will do things like play tug-of-war, or try to get others to chase them. And it's not just the pups doing it, the adults get in on it too. They even have a...
Dude, this video is going to be fucking amazing. I just got to get that out there. This video is going to be great.
specific way of inviting others to play. A play bow is like the wolf version of a friend request, and it's a signal that they want others to get in on the games. And if you don't believe me, play bow in front of your dog and watch how fast you get his undivided attention. Because dogs are all about play. It's why stronger dogs will actively hold back and restrain themselves just to keep their playmate engaged and the games going. It's called self-handicapping, and you'll often see it with male puppies letting physically weaker female puppies win. They know what they're doing. They know, and if you've ever had a girlfriend, you do too. I'll tell you what, coyotes sure do. But adult wolves rarely self-handicap because they rarely nerf themselves on purpose. But I'll tell you one thing dogs did get from wolves: fetch. That's right, we didn't come up with that. In an experiment in Stockholm University in Sweden, researchers hand-raised a litter of puppies, making sure to get them comfortable with their presence, but not.
I'm just going to put this out there. I feel like fetch is like instinctively in those animals. Well, ooh, maybe not, because like cats don't really do fetch. I guess some cats. I was gonna say like fetch is probably instinctively in the wolves and dogs because like they chase things, but like cats chase things too. And not very many cats be fucking playing fetch. Some do though.
Playing with
Some
them.
definitely
And
do.
at 8 weeks old, they brought in a person the wolf pups had never seen before to administer a series of tests. One of those tests involved tossing a tennis ball, and to the shock of the scientists, some of the wolf pups actually retrieved the ball and returned it to them. Remember, we're talking about wolves here. Wolves that hadn't been trained or motivated to do that. They basically just freestyled the game of fetch. Not all the wolf pups did this, but understanding human cues was thought to be a domestic dog thing, so realistically none of them should have. We didn't teach dogs fetch, it was already programmed into their software. But if we didn't teach them, who did? Well, maybe ravens, because we've already talked about the wolf-raven relationship arc. But ravens have been seen seemingly playing with specific puppies in the pack. They'll play tug-of-war with sticks. The ravens will do things like tease them to get the wolf pups to chase after them. And sometimes the ravens will even fly over them with sticks to get them to jump. These childhood games are probably how ravens and wolves can form legitimate emotional bonds. And it actually makes a lot of sense that this kind of thing would happen, since wolves are social pack animals and ravens are one of the most playful things with wings while also having the intelligence of a small child. Because you're gonna see, the smarter an animal is, the more playful they usually are. And that's because play typically comes down to two things: manipulating the objects around you and interacting with others. Two things that do require intelligence. Like take bees, probably the most intelligent eusocial insect out there. Well, in an experiment in the Queen Mary University in London, scientists built a setup where bees had a choice: take a path leading directly to food, or explore a path with an obstacle course of tiny wooden balls. And to add to that, one side had wooden balls that were fixed in place, while the others were loose and could be rolled around. Not only did every bee choose the ball path, every single one tried rolling a ball at least once. Some of the bees even went right back after eventually stopping for food.
Dude,
to make it even more interesting, it was actually the juvenile bees that spent the most time ball rolling. So yeah, that's actually how he found out bees can play. But
that's crazy as fuck. What the hell?
Well, we can probably rule out
that's a little weird in my opinion.
It's not because they're not smart enough to goof off and play games. It's because they probably get murked by the queen before they have enough time to figure it out. Because an ant colony runs like an efficient engine, and any part not doing their part gets turned into past tense.
Dude,
and queen ants are crazy cutthroat, like to the point where they'll actively sabotage their own colony just to keep themselves higher in power. The trade-off is the ant colony is a militia that's capable of cutting down animals hundreds of times their size. And in a game like the Ants Underground Kingdom, you get to personally watch an ant colony overwhelm threats like mantises, eviscerate spiders, and even...
Yo, that was good. That was a good ad transition. Not bad. Not bad, not bad.
Definitely are, and it goes way beyond weaponizing wolves. Because as cute as this may be, and it
turn this
really
down a little
is,
bit,
you could
honestly.
argue that keeping wolves close is in their best interest.
There you
But
go,
then
that's
there's
probably better.
this: a raven using a plastic lid as a sled to slide down snowy hills.
Yo,
And then you have
what?
this raven sliding down the roof of a public library, or at least trying to. And they have nothing to gain from doing this. This is unrewarded play, and basically it means, yeah, they're not doing it for survival or anything down. They're just doing it to have a good time.
Yeah, they're just
I wasn't
fucking
kidding. For a
bored.
bird whose group name is an unkindness, ravens and really corvids in general are probably the most playful birds on the planet. It's why you'll see them actively mess with other animals just for the means,
That's
even
so
if it means instigating a literal catfight for their own end.
Yeah, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite videos of all time. I'm so glad you fucking
Actively mess with other animals
put
just
that
for
in
the
there.
means, even if it means instigating a literal catfight for their own entertainment. So next time you're wondering how animals have fun, I want you to remember this snowboarding crow. Or you can
Yeah.
think of this self-tobogganing otter. River otters in Yellowstone have been seen getting a running start and snow surfing down icy slopes. Now, at first scientists just figured it was their way of getting around.
That's
that theory
sick.
fell apart when they watched the river otters run back up the slope like kids at a water park, only to slide back down. And that goes back to unrewarded
Yeah,
play, because
that's
otters don't get
sick,
anything but a
dude.
good time. And FOMO for otters is a real thing because you're more likely to see them sliding as a group than just solo. And like ravens, you can almost see how intelligence and playfulness almost goes hand in
Dude,
hand.
otters are
Especially since
sick,
otters are
man.
considered to be the most intelligent of all mustelids, being part of the special class of animals that are
rob
able
that
to use
shit.
tools. To the point where river otters will seem to juggle rocks when they get excited. No, like, seriously, we had no idea why they were doing this until researchers at a zoo noticed they started juggling rocks more when it got closer to their feeding time. We still don't know exactly what it is about food that makes otters start juggling rocks, but sometimes you need to just take a moment to stop asking why just to enjoy what's in front of you.
Dude.
Like, why do crocodiles like the color pink? Because according
What?
to anecdotal observations, crocodilians seem to have a pink preference, favoring tossing around small objects that look like the result of a red-white affair. It's why the prehistoric predator that's been terrorizing the planet for hundreds of millions of years can be seen picking pink flowers with its jaws. Crocs apparently have other ways of having fun. They'll take turns going down natural water slides and swim
Bro,
right back up
what
and do it again.
the
They'll give each
fuck?
other piggyback rides, just cut.
Yo, if I ever see a fucking crocodile sliding like that, it's over, bro. It's gonna be over. There's no way.
Picking pink flowers
There's
with its
no
jaws.
way.
Crocs apparently have other ways of having fun.
Yeah, that's
They'll take
so-
turns going down
that
natural
is
water
so
slides and swim right
terrifying,
back up
bro.
and do it again.
That is so terrifying. All you gotta do is just, oh my
They'll
god.
give each other piggyback rides.
Fuck
just
that.
'cause. And there's even a story where animal behavior expert Vladimir Dene claimed to witness an alligator seemingly play with a group of river otters in Big Cypress in Florida because Florida. You know, I'm not even kidding.
Florida.
He has a whole paper on play behavior in crocodilians, and he talks about watching river otters regularly visit one specific gator and mess with him by getting close to him, nipping at his tail, and even splashing water on his head. Most gators would respond to this
So
by
they're
just
just
submerging, but
disrespecting.
This one gator
That doesn't seem like playing. It seems like they're
played
just
along by lunging at
disrespecting
the
him.
otters. I know what you're probably thinking, and to that, I give you this. At one point, one of the otters slipped down the bank and was immediately grabbed by the gator.
Yeah, I
but instead
bet.
of making an example out of it, the prehistoric merc machine just released it perfectly unharmed. It
What?
was like a game that both of them were in on. And unlike wolves and ravens, gators and otters have legitimate beef in some parts. But like I said, sometimes you need to forget about the why and just enjoy the what. And what
True.
happened was, these games went on for a couple days until the marsh eventually dried up and the alligators and otters both moved on. That's not the only example of crocodilians at play, that just happens to be the best one I got. Another time was when a gator found a football in his swamp, and instead of easily popping it, it seemed to toy with it by grabbing it with his jaws and tossing it around. You know, I could 100% use this to make a Florida Gators joke, but at this point I think it would be low-hanging fruit. But crocodiles and
Yeah, we don't
alligators
gotta
being
talk
playful
about
goes
that,
right
bro.
in line with the intelligence point I made earlier. Despite having a brain in the weight class of a walnut, crocodilians are much more intelligent than they get credit for. Unlike
Okay. That is terrifying, bro. I don't give a fuck if he's coming to being called or not. That is scary
Despite
as
having
fuck.
a brain in the weight
Seeing
class
him,
of a
ah,
walnut, crocodilians are
hell
much more
no,
intelligent than they get
fuck
credit
no.
for.
Seeing him
Unlike
jump
dolphins,
like
who get
that,
all of the credit for it.
uh-uh.
Now you probably know dolphins like to have fun. The problem is most of their pastimes would probably get this video age restricted with the quickness. Like for
Very
example, when
true.
two Amazon river dolphins were seen playing with a Benny anaconda. I put
That
playing in quotes
is
because both dolphins
ridiculous.
were visibly aroused, and the snake ended up flatlining, likely to drowning. And you know, knowing what I know about dolphins, that's probably what got them excited. Because most dolphin fun comes at someone's expense. I can
Jesus.
repeat that same sentence without the fun and it'd still be accurate. I give
Taunting
you
the seagull.
Exhibit A. But dolphins can have fun in safer workways too. They'll take turns chasing each other in games that can last hours. They'll find random objects to carry around and even play catch with. Oh, and a little fun fact for you. One of a dolphin's favorite things to play with includes sargassum seaweed. Researchers actually watched dolphins in the Bahamas play a kind of keep away game with the seaweed. But the best part was the dolphins were used to being around humans, and eventually they invited the researchers to play with them. And no amount of scientific integrity would stop any of us from saying no.
Okay,
Dolphins have also been seen surfing the bowways produced by ships, sometimes for miles on end. It's not like they just do it to save energy. A group of spinner dolphins actually memorized the path scientists on a boat would take. So every morning the spinner dolphins would show up and ride the bow wave as the scientists traveled to their site. The dolphins would leave for a bit, but then return and do the exact same thing when the scientists started heading back.
Okay, you can't tell me that's not sick. Like, that is sick as fuck, dude. That's like everyone's dream, is to have, at least everyone's dream who's like on the ocean or whatever the fuck, is to have like fucking dolphins swimming in front of you and around your boat and shit. That's cool. That's cool as fuck. You can't deny that.
So every morning the spinner dolphins would
even
show
if
up
they
and
are
ride the
all
bow
a
wave
bunch
as
of
the
fucking
scientists traveled
assholes
to
and
their
cunts.
site. The dolphins would leave for a bit, but then return and do the exact same thing when the scientists started heading back. So yeah, it's really no surprise that the smartest thing in the ocean can be as playful as a child.
Dude, what the fuck? He just defies physics!
So many believe
the fuck was that? You did not just go for a fucking pass. He just ran a streak. He just ran a go route. He just ran a go route.
The scientists
Literally.
started heading back. So yeah, it's really no surprise that the smartest thing in the ocean
that's
can be
so
as playful
sick.
as a child, because honestly, they're probably as smart as one. So
that's
smart
sick as
that many
fuck.
believe that dolphins will purposely seek out pufferfish just to get them elevated. Apparently, the tetrodotoxin that can discharge you from the population in minutes has something of a narcotic effect in small doses.
This
To the
motherfucker's
point where
getting
people
high.
will swear by seeing dolphins take turns passing the puffer until they're all stuck on its product. And if dolphins were humans, they'd definitely be the ones huffing markers in class. By the way, you really shouldn't do that. But dolphins are far from the only ones that get elevated and hella faded. It's believed that cats will eat grass and leaves because they contain folic acid, which helps move oxygen around the blood. Plus, when they throw it up, it helps clean out their system. So it shouldn't be a surprise.
Alright, hopefully I'm not covering his face on the left side anymore. If I am, I'll fucking adjust it again.
Surprised to see the biggest cat in America chewing on leaves. What's surprising is that it seems to put the jaguar in a trance and even induces kitten-like behavior, to the point where people believe that this apex predator will go out of its way to chew on leaves from the Yaji. And in doing so, they book a flight on the same plane as Joe Rogan. Scientists can't say for sure just why jaguars will go to these lengths to get zooted. Many natives will tell you that jaguars do it to buff their perception and senses, which heightens their hunting abilities. We don't know if the plants even affect them like that, but let's be real. We all know that look. That boy is gone. If your child ever came home looking like this, you definitely give.
Okay, that's fucking funny as hell. That boy is gone.
That boy is gone. If your child ever came home looking like this, you
It's
definitely
actually
give them a
so
talking
funny.
to. So it's in
Holy
my
shit.
non-professional opinion that jaguars will purposely get off one when they're not busy hunting for a living.
Dude,
'Cause when
they're all
nothing in the
getting
jungle
fucked
can
up.
impress you, you can afford to. Not the
Very
case
true.
for pandas though. They gotta take licks.
Damn,
from
you did not just
That doesn't
fall.
stop them from being a walking viral clip every time they're on camera. But
Oh,
there's
look
actually
at
a reason
'em.
why you can make an entire playlist on pandas being cute. Mother pandas usually only raise one baby at a time. If she pops out twins, then it's all good for Mary Kay, but it might be up for Ashley. For most of a young panda's life, its only playmate is its mother. So when keepers hand raise baby pandas and the baby pandas imprint on them, this is what happens, because this is what they do with their actual mothers. Another thing pandas like to go viral for is their very much one-sided beef with gravity in the form of falling out of trees. Well, like I said, a lot
I go back way too much, but that was
is what
fucking so
happens,
funny.
because this is what they do with their actual mothers. Another
Oh,
thing
they're so
pandas like to
cute.
go viral for is their very much one-sided beef with gravity in the form of falling
Later.
out of trees. Well, like I said, a lot of animals can pack up pandas, especially when they're young, so their only option is to climb, which very much makes trees their safe haven. They climb to avoid predators. They
Damn,
climb to
look at
avoid
'em.
other pandas. They'll even sometimes go through the process of making another panda in the trees. Trees are so important that young pandas instinctively love climbing. So much that many believe that the reason pandas like to hug their caretakers' legs is because they see human legs as trees and honestly can't help themselves. And while this might be fun for them, this is actually a form of rewarded play, since climbing ends up being a massive part of their life. But so does rolling around,
Unless
and
you
there
get
might be a
stuck,
reason for
true.
that too.
Dude, what
First
the
of all,
fuck?
panda
Why
bones are
is he
really
just
thick
rolling
and heavy
like
for their
that?
size, so the falls and tumbles they take don't hurt them nearly as much as you expect.
Oh!
Also, pandas are nearsighted, so it's possible they
Whole
legitimately
tree
can't
went
see what's in
down.
front of their faces. But many scientists believe pandas just enjoy rolling around, to the point where mothers will often join their cubs doing it. They're not the only bears that can be playful. Polar bears can actually be just as goofy. It's just that pandas are a lot less likely to John Wick a human for food. Polar bears
Very
can form
true.
friendships where they eat, travel, and play together, and these relationships can last years. Their favorite way to bond is by wrestling, and like with dogs, a stronger polar bear will often self-handicap and let the smaller bear win. And
Damn,
also like
what?
with dogs, polar bears have their own way of asking for permission to play too. In their case, a polar bear will move its head from side to side to initiate a friendly sparring session. These pair bonds usually last a summer until they eventually go their separate ways for the harsh winter season. But time and time again, scientists have seen the same polar bear friends reuniting after breeding season and carrying on like nothing ever happened.
Dude, that's
and honestly,
sick.
I feel like most adult friendships go just like that. As in, you can go months without speaking or hearing from each other, but you can also link up and go on like they never left. But of course, polar
That's
bears know
sick
how to
as
have
fuck,
fun by
actually.
themselves too.
Oh,
Polar
look at him
bears have been seen
sliding!
sliding down hills or across ice for hours for no reason other than having fun. So basically,
Yeah, they're
even
bored,
the biggest
dude.
land predators on the planet know how to have a good time. But what about the biggest land animal, period? Well, it turns out, having fun is actually an important part of an elephant's life, and males and females are different in how they do it. Young males love rough housing and play fighting, which actually helps prepare them for a future of running fades for female validation. This natural playful aggression is why you'll often see young male calves chasing around other animals. Hold on, wait for it. And there it is. That's what it looks like for a baby elephant to throw a tantrum. Fun for young females usually involves thrashing around vegetation, sticks, bones, and anything else they can wrap their trunks around. But the ultimate sign of elephant fun is something they do called the floppy run. And it's exactly what it sounds like. When elephants really get excited, they'll shake their heads from side to side, they'll let their trunks hang loose and their ears flap in the wind, and they'll just run, all while trumpeting. It's usually calves and young teenagers that get floppy with it, but sometimes the whole
That
herd
get
gets involved.
floppy
But
with it.
considering half an elephant's time is spent in the water, then it makes sense that half their fun happens in there too. And if you've ever seen elephants playing in the water, it's actually wild how much they look like kids in a pool. There's something really satisfying about watching a 12,000-pound vibe check splashing around in water like a child. And often they'll spray water at each other or sometimes even other animals just for the sport of it. And in this case, other
I love when one of my favorite things in nature is when one animal just fucks with a completely different species of animal just for fun or just to fuck with them.
often they'll spray
Like,
water
that is
at each
so
other or
great to
sometimes
me.
even other
Like
animals
that,
just for the
that's
sport of it.
that.
And in this case, other animals can very much
Just
include
sprays
humans.
his ass.
But all
That's
this
so funny.
lighthearted fun might actually be crucial to their survival. You see, some studies say that the most playful elephant calves grow up to be the ones best at coping with environmental stress, which increases their chances of survival.
Damn,
Again, we
okay.
don't know if this is 100% true, but like I said, sometimes you need to just forget about why and just enjoy watching a baby elephant take a shower. But that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank you all so
That's
much
it?
for the support this year. It really does mean a lot. And best believe, I got a lot more stuff planned for 2023.
Let's
but for now, happy
go.
holidays, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Oh, wait, hold up. It's not over. We got everyone watching him. He doesn't even know it. Dude, that's sick, man. Hey, what a absolute complete fucking banger like always, man. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to Casual Geographic yet, make sure to go do that, yeah? Goddamn, man. Goddamn.